5 books and counting. The Tales from the Omni Vault continues to expand as a universe. Go ahead and check the links down in the description to get your copies today. If you look up reviews of Godzilla Kong the New Empire, you'll find that, especially among the professional critics, they skew towards the resoundingly negative. Critics were tearing into this movie from the moment the first trailer dropped, and they only got harsher once the movie finally hit theaters. Despite this, the movie has become a box office smash. Indeed, the response from general audiences and G-fans alike is overwhelmingly positive, the exact opposite of the critical response. The people have spoken, and this is the people's movie. This hasn't stopped the negativity, which only seems to increase with each passing week. Not that it's having much of an effect, mind you, but the insistence that this is a bad movie which does not deserve its success remains strong. And the funny thing is that this has happened before. Many times across multiple mediums, in fact, but there's one in particular that has a direct connection to the New Empire. While in conversation with Nathan Marchand from the Monster Island Film Vault on this topic, I noted how appropriate it is that a Kiss song made its way into the movie because Kiss had a similar reputation back in the day. Allow me to elaborate. Kiss burst onto the music scene back in the 70s, and there was a clear pushback against the band from the start. Critiques could be summarized in 3 easily understood points. Their songs were too simplistic, their visual aspect too gimmicky, and their attitude too commercial. Kiss seemed less like a proper band and more like a merchandising empire that just happened to have a musical aspect. As one popular sentiment at the time stated, while other bands wanted to be the Beatles, Kiss wanted to be Coca-Cola. They were the sellouts who prioritized logos over lyrics and merch over music. Real fans of rock and roll listened to bands like Pink Floyd, Electric Light Orchestra, The Who, and Rush, bands with actual talent and substance to offer. Real fans of rock and roll didn't listen to Kiss. Real fans of rock and roll hated Kiss. So was the sentiment, anyway. Yet Kiss became one of the decade's biggest bands. All of that criticism and the expectation that you were supposed to hate them amounted to nothing but impotent rage against an unstoppable juggernaut. How did that happen? It's quite simple to find out, really. For starters, sure, we can all acknowledge that your average Kiss song lacked the complexity of their contemporaries, but despite that, they were undeniably catchy. You can't argue that even though they weren't the most elaborate songs, Kiss certainly knew how to compose an earworm. Second, if you went to see them live, you were in for one heck of a show. With the flashy set dressing, bursting pyrotechnics, and well-timed stage illusions, there was never a dull moment during a Kiss concert, and people who attended had fun. That was really important. Kiss provided pure entertainment. And before you say anything, yes, I know that Kiss wasn't the first music act to mix theatrics and costumes with their songs, but they were the first to break into the mainstream by doing so. You also don't need to remind me of their many mistakes that hurt their popularity, such as the releases of Dynasty and Music from the Elder, the ill-conceived movie Kiss Meets the Phantom in the Park, or the brief stretch of time in the 80s where they abandoned the makeup and costumes. Each of these choices negatively affected their momentum, it's true, but Kiss never actually went away. In fact, since founding members Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons persisted through it all, Kiss eventually lasted long enough to see a resurgence as a nostalgic retro act in the 2000s, now appreciated by fans of classic rock alongside all of those quote-unquote better bands. Indeed, if we step back and look at the bigger picture, Kiss arguably had a tremendous impact on popular music, as they showed how a visual gimmick or crazy stage antics could enhance the experience. Pop acts such as Lady Gaga took this to heart, as did parodist Weird Al Yankovic. Today, various metal bands such as Gwar, Lordi, Powerwolf, Sabaton, Gloryhammer, and Victorious, to name but a few, are built around the idea of being a complete show with stage personas and elaborate settings. We haven't even gotten into J-pop bands like Baby Metal and Momoira Clover Z, the latter of whom even collaborated with Kiss, but I don't want to keep you here too long. The point is that Kiss was a band people were expected to hate by both the critics and the elitists, but the people embraced them anyway. The same thing appears to be happening with Godzilla x Kong. Now, to be clear, no movie is going to have 100% appeal to everyone. Some people just personally don't like the movie, and that's their prerogative. Yet there seems to have been a campaign against this movie from the word go, with random YouTubers, bloggers, and podcasters actively proclaiming that GXK was an abomination sight unseen, churning out dissertation after dissertation against its very existence. Despite this, the movie is a hit that people love. Sure, one could argue that it lacks the gravitas of Godzilla -1, but the people don't seem to care. Not even the people who loved -1. GXK has been selected as the People's Movie of 2024, at least for now, even beating out a Ghostbusters movie with the original cast, the world's sexiest man, and one of the kids from Stranger Things. Ghostbusters is everyone's favorite 80s franchise, so that's quite a feat. Yeah, it's a weird connection to make, I know. The ultimate point is that when the people speak, nothing can drown them out. Thank you all for watching. Now be sure to head down to the description to check us out on other platforms, as well as find links to the 5 current books in the Tales from the Omni Vault universe. Again, thank you all, and we'll see you next time.